Okay, Cancer, this is just an oracle read. I was actually going to add it to the other video that I did, but I thought it might be too long, so I just did this separate. It's not going to resonate for all of you. It's for whoever finds this reading and, again, connects to what's being laid out. So either way, some of you will be making, decisions this week, and this might be relevant. Others, it will not resonate right away. You are not in this current energy, but either way, take from it what you will. Okay, so the cards that I have out here, just giving you a little quick look on the display. And I'm just going to reiterate, because I know somebody had made a comment just about the layout. I'm never home on the average. I'm actually pretty busy all the time. So I just try to do layouts when I can. I don't make money off this. It's really just something that I do for you guys. So I feel that the world is a really challenging place right now, and I just want to give back in whatever way that I can. So I just feel this is, hopeful, positive energy, hopefully, or something that you can take from it that will help you to gain some insight. So anyway, take it as you will. So Great Big Love is a card that speaks to looking at love without conditions. I mean, it is something that has changed you, and I think maybe you were looking at love in a conditional way. So, this is around healing that love wound, and it certainly does speak to heightened awareness around that, a lot of sensitivity around that. I think that whoever this connection was that you were in, it does speak to you sort of seeing yourself in them, and so that's why the connection was so deep. But it's also, maybe you asking the wrong questions, looking for perfection in life where there is none, trying to have the perfect love, perfect romance, perfect words, perfect connection, perfect ideal world. There is no perfect ever. So this is, really realizing that what you do and how you contribute to the world, the things that how you show up in the world, how you show up in a relationship, that has to be on you. You can't take the responsibility for other people not showing up in the same way. Everybody's on a different journey here, so everybody is trying to learn the lessons through one another. And of course, the most painful connections are the ones that give us the biggest lessons. Sometimes we close off for a period of time, but over time we start to realize, when we separate ourselves from the situation and we're less emotionally entangled, we do realize that we've changed as a result. And hopefully, we haven't gone down too far a path of negativity, and more so looking at the truths in the connection and the things that you actually found out about yourself. What made you feel loved in a situation that you can give back to yourself, rather than having to look externally from that to build your self-worth up, that kind of thing. But it's also about looking at love from different directions. So not necessarily all love in the space of a relationship, but also looking for love and connections. How do you find love in the activities that you do? Like, what kinds of things bring you beauty or help you to enjoy the day, that kind of thing. Anything that's going to help you to move ahead in a sense of embracing the day, because you want to empower yourself, not disempower yourself. So I'm actually just going to show you guys really quick the sunshine. This is like so amazing out there. Sorry guys, I just thought that was like a pretty good little add to the night. Anyway, I'm just random like that. Okay, so getting back into Let It Go. This is, of course, letting it go. So letting it go and forgiving and trying to heal some of those resentments that you've built up. And again, it's not looking at yourself as a victim. It's really seeing yourself as a part of somebody's story, and they were a part of your story, and you had a chance to enjoy that moment, and then you move on to the next story. So you're releasing the pain. You're realizing that, it's not about being right. It's about living your truth in a situation. So if you stood up to your situation in the best light of yourself, you know what I mean? I don't know if that made any sense, but lived your life in a way that was true to you, then I feel like even though there's disappointment that somebody else couldn't come to the table in the same way, the point is it's not your burden to carry anymore. This is where you have to stop telling yourself the old story, and otherwise you're victim, you're hostage to those frustrations, the disappointments, and the resentments. And so this is about healing faster by forgiving yourself and not letting the pain distort you, and not reeling in the pain to the point where you feel trapped in a prison of your own making, as they say here. But it is a card of victimhood. So again, it's learning to coach yourself back to, what would you say to somebody else, if you had to recreate or reinvent them, you know what I mean, after they had been dealt a hardship, what would you say to somebody else to repeat the situation and live in that negativity, or move through the situation by allowing yourself to say no to drama, forgive yourself for, you want to find a way to liberate yourself. So you want to forgive yourself for, like I said, the things that maybe you couldn't live up to within yourself, and maybe it distorted you in some way and brought out some very negative parts of yourself. But that's where the healing takes place. Forgive yourself first, and then you'll be able to forgive others as well. The powerful move is really moving into that space with purpose, and it's about starting to have some motion toward a real purposeful path. Again, the intention here is where you're setting an idea into action. It is seeing yourself as a worthwhile human being and realizing that you have a lot of positive characteristics, and you can make positive changes that are going to help you to step into a powerful position. So again, you have to be conscientious when you move into that space, and it starts first with the way that you think and the way that you talk to yourself. Your focus should be on more of a willingness to try new things and, get rid of sort of your past expectations, because you want to be open and clear to the path ahead. It's also acting in a thoughtful way and doing what needs to be done. So it's taking the steps to bring yourself into the space of empowering yourself. It's not about looking for others to fill the hole or fill the cup. It's about you empowering you. Okay, so the call of the muse, it feels like there's almost some kind of creativity or something that's being required here, or at least for you to focus a little bit more on, because this is about self-expression. This is about that creativity, feeling more inspired. It's definitely about really being conscientious, feeling a little more self-conscious as well. And maybe you need to sort of journal out the words and deal with the situation in that way. Some of you, it is being, it is an artistic pursuit or something here, drawing or otherwise, that's helping you to kind of deal with, recreating yourself. So you want to identify with the parts of yourself that are necessary for you to move forward, not the unnecessary parts. The unnecessary parts are the things that don't serve you in a positive way. So again, expression, looking inside, all of those things, that's where you're going to find your story, your new story. Don't live the old story. And again, that's creative expression. So paint, sing, dance, whatever it is for you, it's about answering some kind of a call. You're being moved into this new space. So pay attention. Okay, so the card of a merry motive, this one is definitely calling you to as well. Know your motives, know your motives, know what's important to you, what drives you toward, success or an interest, what drives you. Take a look at the things behind your intentions. What is it that if you were interested in acting out into a new vocation, what is it that drives you on to that path? Is it because you are connected to healing, your own healing? Is it because you want to heal others? Is it because you want to express yourself in some particular way? Maybe there's a truth that you need to tell the world that comes out through an artistic modality or whatever. But either way, you want to kind of surrender to this and sort of relish in the moment, and it's definitely about being in the flow of things. So again, if you are resentful about something, it's okay to express that, but do it in a constructive way so that you can actually find a more positive outcome from, like, it's almost therapeutic if you're writing about something that you see wrong in the world, and then ending it on a positive note where you find a space to actually be clear on why you're doing something. And that's really what this card's all about. What's your why? And again, when you start to look at your life and break it down into the who, what, why, when, and how, you'll realize that you're able to match up with a new energy here that tells you a new story, because we're always changing. So your who, your what, your why, that may have changed from who you were 10 years ago, and it most likely did. So know your why. Okay, so the card of body and soul, This is really immersing yourself into something that's going to be involving a lot more of yourself than just your mind, right? This is where you want to connect to something that is going to spiritually evolve you, where you're not separate. You're looking at yourself from as the complete package. Like you're really doing some extreme self-care here. This is where you're really checking in with yourself. You're really taking note of your needs, doing good things for yourself, taking yourself to places where you want to eat, taking yourself to, places where you can engage in inspiring activities, taking a break and really focusing on how to heal you. And you're worthy of it. So this is what it's telling you, because when you heal yourself, you heal others. You help others to get to that best place in themselves. You know what I mean? So it's really important to be at ease with yourself, and you do you. Take pride in the things that you do. It's definitely about your self-worth. And of course, a lot of the tarot that I read before that also spoke to the same, because a lot of your mindset is going to come through your physical body. So you have to realize that we only get this chance once to live in the moment and be the age that you are now. So really be intentional on, what your purpose is. Know your why, know your place in things, and really put yourself first. So again, nourish the mind, body, soul. Break it down into things that can help you to address those things individually, because if you're only working on one thing, and yes, it starts with one thing, but if you're only working on one thing, it can put other things out of balance. So when we have the Divine Matrix, the final card out, this is about, obviously divining with knowledge from spirit and being tapped into synchronicities and, trusting your dreams and all of that. So it's really you finding some meaning in those meaningful coincidences. So start to really pay attention to those things around you at this time. Seeing feathers, seeing dimes, 222, 444, 1010, whatever it is for you, numbers, that kind of thing. Just know that a lot of those numbers sequences are all about finding yourself rebalanced, staying on track. And definitely it's about not getting trapped into the idea of you being separate, from the world or from things. And I feel like that's what you're dealing with, is you're separating yourself in a lot. You're compartmentalizing different things when really you want to be seen as a whole human being, instead of a confused, reality where everything is somehow not being claimed. This is where you need to really take a look at your life experiences and how you connected to those, and not allowing one disengaging, one, how do I say, not allowing one situation to pull you through a vacuum. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that operate within your surroundings that bring reality to light. So if you focus on that one thread as your life force, it doesn't allow you to weave a full blanket. I don't know if that's horrible examples, but it doesn't allow you to sort of weave the whole blanket. You're using one thread, one color, one way of looking at things. And really your power is in being able to tap into that tapestry of life, all the things about yourself that, kind of bring in truths, different truths, and that's where the miracles lay. And that's where you have to be ready to claim them in divine timing, where all those synchronicities start to line things up. And that's why you need to pay attention to all the aspects of yourself, not just one thread, because you're going to be able to see how they all connect, and that is where you're going to harness your foundation to build from. Anyway, that's what I have for you for this read, Cancer, and keep moving forward, never give up, and on to the next cycle.